You know, a lot of times we don't think we need therapy, but there is something missing, and we don't want to be labeled as crazy or the person who can't seem to pull it together. And I just encourage you to think of therapy this way. And one of my clients defined it as this. And so he's in therapy and he was having a bit of a time. And again, the stigma attached to receiving therapy still cause him to think, okay, I don't need therapy today, Dr. Kenny, but I need to talk to you. I need to see you. And his exact words were, I don't need therapy. I just need to come and vent, and we talk about some strategies to get through what I'm going through. And I giggled and I said, oh, kind of sounds like therapy to me, right? So if you can look at therapy as that place for you to go and vent and then develop some strategies how to deal with whatever it is you're dealing with, that's exactly what therapy is. It is not this thing that society has made it to be where something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. We're all going through the same things, myself included, my son and I included. We have our own therapy. People too. You think there's nothing that this person can tell me that I haven't already thought of and tried. And that's why I'm not going to go. I promise you, I, with 2 PhDs, think the same thing. There is nothing that a therapist can lend to me that I don't already know that I haven't tried. And every time I go in with my therapist, I gain a new perspective, a new something that I did not think of to try.
The Healing Arts Institute of South Florida, a leader in the community by helping children and their families heal from exhaustion and anxiety with no-cost mental health services.
On the outside, I seemed like I had everything going together, but on the inside, I was drowning.
Under the leadership of Dr. Thelma Tenney, the Healing Arts diverse team of competent therapists and staff provide therapy and family fun activities. Don't suffer in silence. Let Healing Arts help you heal. A South Florida nurse hoping to help save lives by talking about her need for mental health services. She first started opening up on social media. Now she's sitting down with her therapist, Dr. Thelma Tenney of Healing Arts Institute of South Florida, and sharing her story on camera.
If there ever was a time that we need to access mental health therapy or speak to a professional about our mental well-being as nurses or anyone really who have worked over the last 2 years in the healthcare field, it's now. I know a lot of companies are focusing on accessing mental health because they recognize that, especially in our field, that a lot of us are facing burnout. I personally was not in the ER on a day-to-day basis, but I was in the operating room and just dealing with taking care of patients during the COVID pandemic and even post-COVID era, which we're still not out of, but we're still dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. Not like it was in 2020, but I think that there is a lot of post-traumatic stress, having experienced and seen people die minute by minute, hour by hour, and with trying to help to save lives, and sometimes it was just futile because of this disease. Now, what we're seeing now and what a lot of us are experiencing is the trauma from living through that. And so I think it's crucial for those of us that are facing these stressors to access mental health therapy. We can't fix this on our own, and I know we're fixers, and a lot of times we think that we've gotten this. We're providers, we're healers, so we know how to heal others. So we should be able to heal ourselves. And we're not able to all the time. And for those of us that are still struggling with the trauma of experiencing multiple deaths on a daily basis, or the inability to save everyone, because that's our job. Our job is to save people. And we weren't able to do that. We're now suffering the consequences of those failures that we perceive as failures, but really it was out of our hands. Let's access mental health. Let's seek professional help to just process grief and the outcome of not being able to save everyone. But what therapy has done for me is given me an opportunity to deal with traumas that you don't realize just takes a little piece of you, and it impacts how you interact with others and how do you go through your day. And having spent the time, which for me, with you was a long time, it was weekly, then bi-weekly, then once a month, then every other month, and consistently for probably 18 months until I felt I can breathe. And now I have the tools to just help myself process things when I come through challenges in life, help myself in setting boundaries in my life. That is one of the things that I got from therapy, setting boundaries in the people, especially loved ones, because sometimes you don't realize that area in your life too, you do need to set boundaries with the people that are closest to you.
I'm on social media, right, and I follow my clients and they follow me, and that's okay, and that's how we check up on each other. And I saw recently that Carla has been posting a lot different, and you have become a mental health advocate and sharing your story, and that is amazing to me. Again, just to be able to assist someone in their journey. And I always tell you guys that my goal is for you to not need me.
You sure do. You do tell us that.
So that is my ultimate goal, as you said, to point out what skills you already have, help you develop additional skills, and then I pull out. And as you so eloquently said, once a year, right, you come in for that checkup. Or when there's that life-changing event, there's the death in the family, there's the baby, there's the move, there's the new relationship, for all of those high-stress situations. So I'm honored. I'm honored to be your therapist, and I'm honored to have you share your experience. And again, I say it all the time, I truly do love what I do. And maybe that's just why I have such great clients,
And it shows that you love what you do. The compassion is always there. And as I mentioned before, the connection was there, and that helps a lot too. Thank you very much again.
Well, thank you. I know we're both so uncomfortable sitting here on this couch.
Not really.
Healing Arts Institute of South Florida offers mental health services to adults, but is known for offering no-cost mental health services primarily to youth 22 and younger, along with their families. For more information, go to healingartssfl.org. The Healing Arts Institute, bringing the energy at the Unmasked Gala. Dozens of people coming together to end the stigma surrounding mental health. The unique way Healing Arts Institute does it is by removing financial stumbling blocks.
I can tell you what truly sold me on Healing Arts and what truly made me a proud board member is the fact that Healing Arts counselors and therapists provide free therapy to individuals that's uninsured or underinsured from ages 3 to 22. Give them a round of applause, y'all, because that's crazy.
I think there's great urgency behind receiving mental health services, because a lot of times we think that mental health is not important. I work with cardiologists all the time who refer hundreds of clients to me because they come into the cardiologist or the ER because they think they're having a heart attack, when in actuality it's anxiety. So they rule out everything else and everything is okay, and then there's the anxiety that's there. So I just wanted to say that is an example of how mental health affects everything. You're thinking and talking about your brain. So if your brain goes, everything else goes with it.
This year, Dr. Thelma Tenney shedding light on the mental health issues surrounding our law enforcement by hearing from officers themselves.
So if you have over the course of your life 2 to 3 significant exposures to trauma, and then you have law enforcement with upward almost 200, if not over 200 exposures to significant trauma over the course of their career, what do you think is the result of that? I'll tell you. Higher levels of depression, higher levels of anxiety, alcoholism, and frankly, we can't keep a relationship if we wanted to. There's a correlation between what we're exposed to and our ability to be normal. You can't, what do they say? You can't dance with abnormality for so long and then think, the music stops and I can just go back to be normal. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
I want people to understand, specific for people in law enforcement, that we are not robots, that we have feelings, that this is not just a job, this is a career, this is lifelong, and we also can have some mental health concerns from seeing so much trauma on a day-to-day basis. And so providing these services really normalizes the fact that we need these services as well.
The stigma against mental health and mental illness is real. It is pervasive in our community. But those of us who work in the industry recognize that having hope for wellness and having access to mental health care is primary, and it is so important. We're here to provide the help for you. You just have to want it and need it and ask for it and be able to accept it when we offer.
Dr. Thelma Tenney created the Healing Arts Institute after her son Carter Bonus was diagnosed with autism. Not only did she seek out therapy for her son, but for herself. When she couldn't find a therapist who could address her issues, she decided to fill the gap.
I started Healing Arts in 2015 because I couldn't find services for myself, and I said, when I can't find something, I gotta create it. I know we need more culturally competent PhD therapists in the world. So we started our PhD program. And now we have some students who are in our PhD program. Cassie, if you can stand up. We have a couple more, they're not here.
Rappers Sequig and Sierra are not only performers, but both are diagnosed with autism.
When my son was, when we first got the diagnosis, okay, and they told us we would never have a conversation with him, okay, and once again, lemons, okay, we don't know, but I'm actually a chiropractor and acupuncturist. And I started traveling and learning about different things that I could do to help my son. And then I developed an acupuncture protocol and started treating him at night using lasers, treating auricular points, and totally changed him. Now he's out here singing and performing and singing in college, and once again, life gives you lemonade, makes some lemonade.
Yes.
They, along with Carter Bonus, are part of the Stars of the Spectrum. It's an organization highlighting skilled individuals with an autism diagnosis. It was created by former NFL quarterback Doug Flutie, whose son also has autism. Carter's mental health therapy and love of golf helped give him the confidence to start his own line of golf apparel called Spectrum Golf. Carter is now Sports Illustrated Sports Kid of the Year and the UPS Unstoppable CEO of the Year.
If you were unfortunate to miss this event, you can still go to our website, healingartssfl.org, click on the donate button and donate. We would hope to have you as a reoccurring donor. We'll be happy to collaborate with our community partners. So it's never too late. Reach out. My office, my doors are always open. And again, you can reach me at healingartssfl.org.
An awesome show of excellence as dozens of students filed into the gymnasium at Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale. The students are participating in Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders induction ceremony. The peer-to-peer mentoring program focuses on academic achievement, mentoring, family involvement, community support, and incentives, something these students made a commitment to achieving.
Attitude and behaviors that will ensure my success.
Dr. Thelma Tenney, the founder and CEO of Healing Arts Institute, will be playing an engaging role in the program through her nonprofit, which offers no-cost mental health therapy primarily to youth and their families. She was invited to give the keynote at the induction ceremony.
First and foremost with family. And I'm happy to see so many families here supporting your young adults. We know that for some youth, blood family may not be able to or not available for them. And I can wholeheartedly relate to this because this was the case for me as a young adult. However, as you can see, I found a family of support in my community to aid into my success. And this is the case for all of you here tonight. You can do the same, and you've started your families, your community here with your peers. The road will not always be easy, but I promise you, if you learn to push through, learn to forgive yourself for the mistakes and failures you experience along the way, you will be happy and you will be successful. Thank you.
Several students also giving thanks for the leaders and school administrators who have helped them and encouraging the students with words of inspiration. One message in particular stood out to Dr. Tenney.
Good evening, everyone. High school is a monument in any child's life, the last few steps before your slide into greatness. One of the most important components to a successful high school career is health, mental health. Mental health is a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects many aspects like how we think, feel, and act, as well as handle stress, relate to people, and make decisions. High school is a time where we make friends, some temporary and some lifelong. We learn things we've never known, see some things we might not have ever wanted to see. Most importantly, we're introduced to new stressors, like classes, exams, social situations that excite us, scare us, make us want to open the gates and walk home. But the point is that mental health is a foundation, but not just in high school, in all walks of life. Our youth, young adult years, middle ages, and even our eldest years. To participate in the upkeep of a child's mental health is to participate in the upkeep of the future. And oh, keep the future so beautiful. Good night.
Dr. Tenney made sure to connect with that student after the ceremony was over and let her know she could receive volunteer hours through the nonprofit in the field of mental health, which she was very excited to hear.